Hey, y'all. This is part 2 of the podcast of ReCasting. Hope you enjoy.
There's a test at the end.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Always. So our next example is another big one. Big franchise, Harry Potter.
Yep.
As everyone knows, we had, for the first two movies, we had Richard Harris as Dumbledore, and then they recast because unfortunately he passed away, and they had many, many, many more books to still turn into films.
Yes. He can't write out Dumbledore. He's kind of important.
He's kind of like the biggest character in the universe. So yeah, they had to recast, and the transition for that change was very big.
Yeah, I think it was helped a little bit. So he came in the third film. So they had Alfonso Cuarón directing the third film, and as juxtaposed with like Chris Columbus, who did the first two. So the tone was already different for the whole movie. So at least it was that. I think if Chris Columbus had still been directing, it would have been, maybe his character wouldn't have been as harsh in general. But if he had still taken that approach, I feel like it would have stuck out more. But obviously, we all know the Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire meme from the fourth film.
Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Literally so terrifying.
The most unnecessary physical attack on Harry.
I just did like a full rewatch of all of these films very recently.
Where do you find the time to watch all of this stuff?
I don't know, man. Honestly, but we did. We binged all of them through, and we were like really watching them because, you know, it had been a while that I like really tuned into like small details of the films.
I was gonna say, and you found no QC mistakes at all.
Well, no, I saw all of the ones we've previously pointed out, and even more, they're even worse than like I really.
They
remembered.
Absolutely are. Yeah,
but watch the other episodes for those ones. It was such a difference to go from like the first two movies that have such a like, you know, speaking on warmth and this kind of like very. They created this, you know, very soft, not soft, but like magical world for children that like it had a specific tone. And then, the third movie comes in and it's very different. Like
it's a lot darker. They're significantly older. Yeah, it's just so much of it is different. It's my favorite movie of the original franchise.
Yeah,
which is
I
so
love
weird
Prisoner
saying
of Azkaban.
The original franchise now because they're remaking it for HBO as a TV show.
Yeah, I won't talk about that yet.
Yeah,
won't talk about that yet.
Look, I'm sure we've touched on it before. In other times we've talked about Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling is a person
who sucks.
We don't support. But we can still have nostalgia, and you know what? If anything, we're poking holes in something that she created. So
yeah, for me, I think I still watch them because there's so much more work that went into them.
Absolutely,
that
it's a whole team of
put their heart and soul into.
Yeah,
and we can still absolutely hate on the creator.
Yeah,
of the
just
books.
don't buy anything that gives money. To her, and you can still reach it. Physical media, guys.
Yeah.
Because now it's all thrifted, so you're not directly paying anybody involved in any of thing.
True. Love that. Love thrifting. So we did a rewatch, and the tone is so different, but I think, you know, to go from like just how soft Richard Harris talked. He's such a like felt sweet
like
old man, grandpa, like
Grandpa Dumbledore.
Yeah, and then you get such a different change of pace.
Yeah, such a radically different interpretation of he said softly versus he screams and pushes him into a table.
Like terrifying. And it's funny because I said to my husband when I was rewatching, I'm like, I don't remember the change as a kid. Obviously, we were very young when these movies came out. Like, I think, so the first one was, what was the year the first one came out? It's
2000, I think, or 2001. We were in grade 1.
So then the third movie, Yeah, I mean, I probably would have watched it at home on a VHS.
Yep.
Still very young.
Well, 3, I think I would have seen that would I have seen that in the theater?
I think I might only went and saw the 5th one in theaters.
I know I saw 4 in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I did too. But I don't remember. I don't think I saw the 3rd one in theater. I think I was still pretty young. And I lived in a small town, and we only had one little theater.
Yeah, see, I think, I mean, we would have been the same age, so I think he was like, I think I was much older. No, we were the same age, but I grew up in not a small town, so there were many theaters, and I feel like I definitely did see at least the 3rd one in the theater to start with.
Yeah, I feel like for me when I was a kid, the change I probably didn't notice because just like all old men look the same to me.
That's still true. And you know what? We get some shit comments on our YouTube clip about saying all white men look the same. We were being sarcastic, but it's also kind of true.
It's kind of true.
Come on, guys. Come on.
It's kind of true.
It's kind of true. All right.
So, yeah, I didn't notice. But obviously, like, you know, as you're getting older and then you go back and you rewatch the first couple films and you're like, wow, it's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different.
I think I did notice as a kid that it was a different person. But I think for me, I think I was just like, oh, why is this person saying the stuff that Dumbledore should be saying? And I was like, oh, no, that still is Dumbledore. And then I think I probably asked my mom, like, why does he look different? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. And then I didn't really think too much of it. But yeah, no, it's very jarring when the whole tone of the movie changes too, that suddenly there's a new actor. And, you know, Harry Potter's a franchise that ran for several years, so he's definitely not the only role that was recast. There's a few.
Yeah,
Lavender Brown became a white girl.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one because I had no idea because I think the first couple films, she was non-speaking role.
Yeah, she was just credited as like, that's who that was supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's interesting that if you had that set up and then you just, okay, let's just change that.
Yeah.
Very unnecessary.
Yeah, but, you know, I think Dumbledore was kind of the biggest example of that. And QC doesn't always have to be a mistake. Sometimes it is just like differences and things and like, yeah, are you looking close enough? Mm-hmm. I just showed Jack Now You See Me for the first time, the first movie.
Oh.
So are you looking closely was kind of the vibe of that movie. And I feel like that's QC in a nutshell. We didn't do any episodes we've had plenty of horror episodes, but like Scream, and there's always going to be horror QC things to point out. But we didn't release anything in October. So this is our homage to this season. I'm happy to talk horror.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'll talk horror anytime. I don't need it to be Halloween to talk horror.
No, me neither. Horror is all year.
Horror. Yeah, so we are going to talk about Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to sprinkle in a couple examples that are along the same lines as the Silence of the Lambs issue. It's sort of sprung a whole, section of this. What am I trying to say?
Down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, it led me down a rabbit hole is exactly what I was trying to say.
Yes, that's okay. They're good examples.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I just haven't seen. But
No, me too. I haven't seen a lot of the secondary examples, but that's why they're secondary examples.
But Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite films. So, like the first one, specifically the first one is my absolute one of my absolute favorites. It's one that kind of inspired me to get into film because the acting was some of the best I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is incredible. It was so good. And the second one, unfortunately, I don't really remember too much because I don't think I really watched it.
I don't think I've truly seen the second one. And I think a lot of the reason why I didn't was because I was like, why did they recast
Clarice?
Yeah.
I feel really bad saying this because I'm like, Julianne Moore's not a bad actress at all, by any means. She's very good in a lot of films. But she's no Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. I'm sorry.
No, and she knows that. And I think that might also be part of the problem because I made a point of putting this quote in the breakdown. And it's Julianne Moore talking about the recasting. And she says, of course I felt pressure. Jodie Foster is absolutely iconic and is one of my favorite performers ever. And I think the most important thing was to try not to, and I'm like, not going to be Jodie. Like, there's no way. And I'm not in that movie. I'm in this movie, which is, yeah, it's true. And we know that.
Yeah.
We know. We don't.
Yeah.
Lots of people rewatched Silence of the Lambs. It got a lot of acclaim when it came out. And when you just, it's another one of those things where if you just don't have the budget to pull together the same group of people.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe just don't.
Maybe just don't. Save a lot of people a lot of time and energy.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore is a great actress. She's been in way better things.
Yeah.
But she's not Jodie Foster.
She's phenomenal, but she's just, it's not the character we came to know as Clarice.
No.
And for me, like, that is the reason why everybody loves that film, is because the two lead actors in it have some of the best chemistry on set. And then also they are the character. Like, they just fully embody the characters so well that that's who you associate.
And you can't really recreate that chemistry and have it try to hit the same way if that's such a major factor in making another film. It's not like our blanket statement with Harry Potter basically saying, you know, they're old white guys, whatever.
Yeah.
They're two white women, but they look incredibly different, and it's very obvious that that's not the same person. And I feel like in my mind, if I'm watching a sequel to something where they've recast a character and they don't look anything alike, it's breaking the illusion for me. Like, it's like, oh, I'm watching a movie, because now it's not that character that I come to know already.
Yeah. And you also raise a good point that it's like, if they had maybe cast both of the characters and completely did a full change, so similar to like how, you know, they can do reboots of, you know, you've got like Batman being changed every so often, and like things like that, when you completely say, okay, we're going to change the whole cast, we're going to do a whole retelling of a character, that's different.
Yeah.
And even like the show Hannibal, obviously all new characters of this story.
But you're telling a different aspect of the story, and you're not meant to be picking up from an existing story continuity.
Yeah. The jarringness comes from just one of these actors changing.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a kid, I remember having this conversation with my dad. So maybe not a kid, maybe I was in like high school. But I remember having this conversation with my dad about how I didn't understand why every James Bond movie, it was a different person. And I was like, how does that make sense with anything? Like, it's a different guy. And then I realized that's an instance that can get away with it, because 007 James Bond is kind of like I don't know if that's meant to be his actual name. Don't quote me on that, because I actually haven't seen a lot of the James Bond movies, but it's like a character moniker, but it's not like, doesn't need to be the same person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, if you're recasting Clarice, it's like, I'm sorry, but that's not the person I just watched a whole movie of. So
yeah, who literally coined the character. You know, she won awards for it.
Is rare for horror movies to get any kind of recognition.
Yeah.
Like, Hereditary wasn't my favorite movie, but Toni Collette absolutely should have been recognized for that.
Justice for Toni.
Justice for Toni.
That year, because she 100% deserved all the awards.
But with that, we also have a couple of small examples, or just other examples, not necessarily small examples. We consider
horror movies.
Yeah, we consider Silence of the Lambs, I guess, the big example, because it's the one we dove into the most. But it's also, you know, like we were saying, very critically acclaimed, a movie that a lot more people have probably seen that are listening to this. Where, as these examples, a lot of which we have not seen. So, they came up while I was searching for recastings, but there wasn't really as much to talk about, as we are not as familiar with the IPs. Yeah.
And I think, too, like these other examples, they're a little more like, some of them are more side characters, which they could get away with a little more.
Yes. And I feel like a lot of them are longer running franchises, like Nightmare on Elm Street films, where Kristen Parker was Patricia Arquette and she was recast with Tuesday Night. There's so many Nightmare on Elm Street films. I mean, Freddy is the recurring in all of them.
Yeah.
And he's always played by the same person, except for that one remake that came out a few years ago, and we don't talk about that one. That and like Hellraiser. I think there were more sleepaway camp movies than I was aware of.
Yeah, as a horror girly, I feel a bit like ashamed that I like have not delved into that little world as much.
We're gonna try to next year. We ran out of time, Jack and I, to watch like the Hellraiser. We have a couple of them on VHS now, so we want to actually like start
Hellraiser
over.
I like the Hellraiser.
We haven't seen any of them, but
they're great.
That being an example, Doug Bradley was replaced with Stephen Smith Collins for Hellraiser Revelations, and Bradley established the character. And the only reason that the new guy was brought in was because the original actor had retired, and they wanted to keep the IP, so they had to make another movie, and then they had to recast him. So sometimes it's something like that too, where we were joking about Home Alone trying to keep the IP, but sometimes it really is. Yeah. Keeping an IP being intellectual property, it just, if that's about to time out legally and they want to retain the rights to being able to create or do something with a franchise, then they kind of have to put out something new so that it keeps that out there and making money and in the zeitgeist and all of that. So,
and I think with a franchise with this too, they were, it's noticeable, but it worked with the type of makeup that's acquired for the character as well. Like they can do a lot more to, you kind of associate the character with, as long as he's kind of got the pins.
Pinhead is more of a vibe.
His head. Yeah.
Because in the newest iteration, it's a woman, yes? But that feels like a new reimagining of an IP as opposed to, oh shit, we need to make another one of these movies and our original guy's retired, so just get this other guy in here to keep it going. Yeah. That feels more of like a creative pivot to cast a female Pinhead rather than we need to keep this franchise running. Mike in Phantasm and Phantasm 2, I have seen neither of those movies. Angela Baker in Sleepaway Camp films, I have not seen the first one. I've seen the ending of the first one and some scenes from it. Doesn't really stand the test of time if you know what it's about, the twist in that one.
No. So that's why I'll have to, I need to like actually.
I won't spoil it for you. I mean, it's a movie from the 80s. It's been out. I haven't seen it and I know the ending and we'll probably maybe still watch it at some point. It really is not PC.
Oh, okay.
The twist.
Okay.
It's an interesting choice.
All right. I'll give it a watch.
But it was just not a movie that I ever watched. I know now, just, VHS hunting, I've seen that they made sequels. And the Mummy franchise, which is horror adjacent, I would argue, Rachel Weisz was replaced with Maria Bello, which is interesting how they're going to get around that, making a new Mummy film. Like they're planning to make a new one and Rachel Weisz is coming back.
Yeah, I heard about that.
How's that? That's a recast, like flip-flop, like you recasting twice and going back to the original person.
And I think, that says a lot to the second film because
people don't remember Maria Bello.
If you think of The Mummy, you think of Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. Like you can't.
And sometimes the Scorpion King, but we try not to think about The Rock's role in that franchise.
No. Yeah.
Honorary note, and you can speak more to this one because I actually have not seen Dr. Sleep.
Sure, yeah, I can. Dr. Sleep, I thought they did a fabulous job on that. And this one, it's kind of more, instead of a recast, it's they're kind of throwing back to the Shining films. So they had actors who were playing Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. And like lookalikes.
Yeah, because
similar idea. Like, let's find someone who kind of looks like them and then really play them up. But
I think that's better than trying to like de-age Jack Nicholson and get him in there to reshoot it. And obviously Shelley Duvall has passed, but
I thought they did a really respectable job in it. I thought. Because they're not very big characters. They just kind of do this like little flashback and
because Dr. Sleep is the sequel book to The Shining.
Yeah.
That I do know. So it makes sense that if the stories are connected, you're going to maybe want to, I'm sure to Stephen King's dismay, reference the Kubrick film because he infamously hates it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the one you call back to because that's the one everybody knows.
And I think they did a great job in how they did that.
I think it's funny that it's Henry Thomas because I think Mike Flanagan, I love him as a director. Probably my favorite thing he's done is Midnight Mass, which I think is his most underrated Netflix show, other than The Midnight Club, which we didn't finish. Midnight Mass is amazing.
It's the good one.
Although, ironically, I don't think Henry Thomas was in that one. But my point is he likes to work with a lot of the same actors. So it made me laugh a little bit that it was him that he cast as Jack Nicholson.
I will say, it was a missed opportunity to not cast Jack Nicholson's son.
Ray Nicholson.
He looks so much.
He does,
like
and he's great. Well, he's not great. He's okay.
But for this role, it would have been perfect.
Yeah,
for him
well,
to
and
do
a
that.
lot of people were saying the same thing about Dumbledore. They wanted Michael Gambon's son, who is an actor, not Michael Gambon's son, Richard Harris's son, to take over for the role, or then even to play young Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts, which ended up being Jude Law. But actually, that's a good segue into another small example we had, not on the topic of horror, but on the topic of recastings in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Controversially, Johnny Depp, as a human being, was ousted from the franchise and replaced with Mads Mikkelsen, who looks nothing like Johnny Depp, which is a good thing. I'm not the biggest fan of Johnny Depp.
I love early Johnny Depp. I just do. But I
love Jack Sparrow.
That time period
was his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Beasts, I mean, to be fair, I also I don't remember them very well.
I watched not the last one that came out, I think the second one on a plane.
Okay. Oh yeah, nice. It's a plane movie for sure.
It is 100% a plane movie. If that's ever an insult or compliment you can give to any film, it's just saying it's a plane film.
Very true.
I'm watching it to pass the time instead of taking a nap.
Hey, maybe that should be like a new thing. I'll be like, is it a plane film?
Yeah, is it a plane film? This is a plane film. It's a plane franchise. If you're on a long enough, if you're flying to Australia, watch all three of them, or don't. I recommend you don't.
Yeah, it was. It's weird that they just totally said, "Well, we're not even going to care at all about."
Because I think they realized people stopped caring about those movies too.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen's a great actor.
He's great.
And I feel like
he should have been cast originally, and then we wouldn't have had a problem.
Yeah. But I mean, those movies already, I have a huge gripe about because the character of Dumbledore and the whole time period with the Harry Potter universe and timeline and the aging, like, it just does not make
how did Grindelwald
sense.
go from Jamie Campbell Bower as like a late teenager to like some like fully grown adult?
Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies with the aging of the characters between the two franchises that makes zero sense.
Yeah, you didn't have to age them up.
Yeah.
You didn't have to make Fantastic Beasts at all. I will never use the term nomad for anything. That's horrible. That is such an Americanized butchering of a muggle.
The one takeaway I will have from those movies is I really love the creatures in it.
Oh, yeah. I forget half of them, to be
As a kid, I was
honest.
a huge creature lover. Like, I loved like
now you
fantasy,
like pigeons,
and I love pigeons. It all comes together.
Yeah.
So that's like my one reason why I like watch those films, because I was like, I felt like there weren't enough characters in Harry Potter, there weren't enough creatures in Harry Potter, so I felt like I loved that part of it.
Did you watch all three of them?
Yes.
Oh.
But I was quite high, I think, when I watched two of them.
That's the way to watch them. If it's not on a plane when you're like at a high altitude that's already making you kind of loopy, you might as well be drunk or high, honestly.
Be high to watch them, yeah.
But the PG question is it a plane movie? The R-rated adult version is, are you high while you're watching?
Exactly.
I don't partake in the puff, but I don't think I would enjoy watching those movies sober or not on an airplane.
No, it was a high movie. The one thing I'll take away from it is every time he's trying to catch one of the creatures, we were just like, why are you not saying Accio bug?
I think I had that same thing in the, because if you're not going to do that, can you at least say like, oh, it doesn't work on creatures. They're immune to it.
Yeah, make a reason why you can't say Accio whatever. Like,
Yeah, no, it's the same reason Home Alone doesn't work now because everyone has cell phones. Like,
yeah, exactly, exactly.
At least explain why that can't be a factor.
Yeah.
Don't just ignore it and have people be like, well, this wouldn't have even really been a movie if he just said Accio fucking Niffler or whatever it is. No, that's Futurama.
No, Niffler.
Is it Niffler?
Is, yeah.
What's the thing in Futurama? Jack.
Yeah. What's up?
What's the little creature thing in Futurama?
Nibbler.
And it's Niffler in the Fantastic Beasts, right?
Yes.
What? Niffler?
Nifflers. Yeah, they're the ones that look like platypuses. And they steal...
I don't think it's platypi.
Okay, Mr.
Science.
Mr. Science.
You and your science.
Oh,
yeah, it is Niffler.
okay,
There's a little platypus thing, yeah.
Yeah, they're so cute.
I don't remember that movie.
No, we barely do either.
That's what we were saying. I was like, I barely remember. All I remember are the creatures.
Yeah.
I do
Maybe
like
if they focus more on the creatures and not all the dumble butt stuff.
Dumble butt? Yeah.
Dumble butt
stuff. Yeah, so Jude Law, that's Dumbledore. Somehow, like, shortly later, he goes from looking like Jude Law to fucking...
Running a boarding school in the UK where the kids can do magic is stressful, okay?
Yeah.
Have you seen the president's age from the beginning of their term to the end of their term?
Okay.
I'm not making a pass
maybe
for it.
if he looked like Michael Gambon's Dumbledore, but
he looks like
Richard
the back
Harris
of the first book.
Dumbledore, like, to go from that to that is insane.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
There's no way that makes any sense in the
de-aged
timeline.
Dumbledore, but you aged up Grindelwald? Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. It doesn't make any sense.
Make it Accio, all the creatures. Make it make sense.
Accio Niffler, come on.
Come on.
They could have ended that movie in like 10 minutes. Let's be real.
Exactly. Like I said, Home Alone with cell phones. Anyway, Accio, Halloween Town.
Halloween Town.
Back to horror. Yay.
Horror, yeah. It's such a scary franchise.
You wouldn't even watch it because you're like, I'm too scared.
It is pretty scary.
It's pretty spooky scary. I actually rewatched. Usually I watch the first one every year. This year I started with the second one because I never get that far. So I watched 2 and 3, and then I peined my way through half of 4 because I usually pretend that one doesn't exist. Same way there's only 2 Home Alone movies.
Exactly. I don't watch anything after the 2 Halloween movies or Halloween Town movies.
Yeah, I don't like the third one. I think the second one, it is kind of like a Harry Potter and Home Alone thing where I feel like the first one's a classic, but I still really like the second one too. I like the second Halloween Town. I was gonna say Home Alone Town.
Home Alone Town.
I love Home Alone Town with all the magical.
Kevin. You're actually in Halloween Town, Kevin. You weren't left home alone. You were just left in Halloween Town.
Aw, that's the crossover I didn't know I needed.
Oh boy. Yeah, this one, the recast is part of the reason why no one watches the later films.
No, and you know what? I think it was also one of those things as a kid where I became aware of recasting because I love I don't love the third one and I haven't really ever, but when I was a kid and it was on Family Channel, which is the Canadian version of the Disney Channel, whenever that one was on I would still put it on, but I was always more excited to watch the first 2. And then whenever the fourth one came on I was just like, come on, what are we doing? Like, we're just not going to talk about the fact that you, like, Hollywoodized Sarah Paxton into Marnie, which doesn't work. And I'm sorry, like, Kimberly J. Brown, she's having a bit of a resurgence now because she's starting to do movies again. And her social media presence is great and it's warm and cozy and it's wholesome and it just reminds you of childhood without having to rewatch the movies. But they did her so dirty because they didn't even tell her they were recasting.
Yeah.
They just executively decided to cast Sarah Paxton instead. And I was rewatching the fourth one this year and I realized Kimberly J. Brown has brown eyes. And so all they did was dye Sarah Paxton's hair. You couldn't give her contacts. She's got like the bluest eyes I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's...
She isn't being Marnie. She's being Sarah Paxton.
No,
it doesn't work.
The character is just out the window at that point.
Yeah. Well, and Kimberly J. Brown hadn't really done much else that people were like, no one really knew about her until these movies came out, the first 3.
Yeah.
So she kind of just there was nothing for us to reference as kids as like her being in anything else. So for me, she was Marnie.
Exactly. It's so true. And like this movie was so important to me as a kid, and I'm sure a lot of 90s kids, because it was like, you know, your first kind of introduction to like, oh, like being a witch and stuff. I mean, I loved Hocus Pocus as well, but this film was like, oh, a little like young witch, and like she did the character perfectly. She is who I associate with the character, and she just had such a like charm, and she was I don't know, I can't see anyone else being that character. And the fact that, you know, you talk about the resurgence today, she still loves that character so wholeheartedly.
Does so hard that she married one of her co-stars.
Yeah.
And they're so cute.
She's kind of giving us again that like nostalgia that we get to still have that. And like, then we can just completely ignore the other one.
Yeah, I don't hate Sarah Paxton. I also grew up watching her and stuff. I was definitely aware of who she was before this movie came out, before the fourth Halloween Town was made. You know, Aquamarine is a classic. Sleepover. What else? Darcy's Wildlife.
Oh my God, you just like opened up a portal in my brain with that one. Whoa.
I was watching Based on a True Story, that show. And Jack walked in while I was watching one of the episodes, and she's in one, like the latest season, and Jack was like, "Oh my God, is that Darcy's Wildlife?"
Oh my God! For me, this was a big deal for me. Like recasting her, I did not watch them. I didn't like the idea of not having that lead actress as Marnie.
Because Marnie wasn't Marnie anymore. Yeah. You know what? We are devout millennials. We circle
now you're saying our age. You're saying our age.
People know. We've talked about it. We no one's gonna assume we're teenagers.
I don't want to be a teenager anyway.
No, I don't either. I'm content with coming to terms with being in my early 30s. There are so many times where I'm like, wait a second, I'm 31. I thought I was still 30.
I'm 32 in 3 months.
Yeah.
Almost.
Sort of.
32.
I get to wait a whole almost other year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I just mean like it's a common thing that people make fun of millennials for, that a lot of our personalities come from the things that we're nostalgic for. And I agree with that. It's true. I'm sorry that it's Unk with your 6'7".
No.
6'7".
No.
8'9". I love that Grinch video so much. For context, it's a bunch of kids that go up to the Grinch at Universal and they go 6'7", and he goes 8'9", and then walks away. And I thought it was funny.
6'7". 8'9". No. Hey, that's actually a good one.
I know we had a lot of really dumb YouTube videos as kids too.
Charlie. Ouch, Charlie.
Yeah. Salad fingers. The frickin' duck
shucks.
that just wanted shoes. The duck that just wanted lemonade. I know we had some stupid shit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I think kids today, it's a whole other level of just what the hell.
It's no skibbity toilet. It's brain rot, but it's from something. At least
it's like a little bit of something. I was told that it just literally means nothing and that they just thought it was funny.
Also evolved to kind of just mean nothing.
Okay.
Like, I think there's lots of kids who say it who don't know the origin of it. We also did that as kids too. Feel like just repeated things because we heard it, and you're like, I don't even know what it's from either.
Maybe
I couldn't tell you half the slang its origin from when we were kids.
I don't think I was that cool.
You were Unk.
I was Unk,
which I just recently found out means uncool and not like. I thought it was you're calling someone's goofy uncle.
Yeah, uncle energy.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Funny uncle energy, but cool. Let's just go with uncool, I guess. I guess we're Unk.
Yeah, we are. That's okay.
Sarah Paxton is Unk.
Our listeners are not going to be young children, so it's all good.
Our listeners are my dad and a few people we know from college. So this is probably the first my dad is hearing of 6'7", and that's probably a good thing.
You're teaching your dad.
We love to educate on this podcast.
yeah, I guess the other big one to talk about for recast was Henry Cavill and Liam Hemsworth in The Witcher.
Yep.
I know I never watched that, but I know a lot of people who do, and they were very, very, very mad about that recasting.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, a lot of it was Henry Cavill kind of shot himself on the foot and then sort of shot himself on the other foot when he was like, yeah, I'm going to come back as Superman. And then James Gunn was sort of like, actually, I'm taking over the DCU and recasting everybody. So he kind of lost 2 franchises in one foul swoop. But like we were saying before, with superheroes, it's a little bit different. If you're doing a different iteration of a story, it's fine that David Cornswit took over as Superman, as opposed to putting Henry Cavill in a universe where he doesn't really totally fit anymore. Yeah. With this one, Henry Cavill had creative differences with the team because he was a big fan of the games. And from what I remember researching, he didn't agree with the way they were taking the story. And I am not familiar with the books. I watched Jack play the games, and I didn't really watch any of the show. But I definitely heard a lot about the discourse surrounding the recasting when they announced it was happening. And I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up after we record because I don't actually know if much of the Liam Hemsworth Witcher has come out yet.
Yeah,
I can't remember if we've had a full season of that and then now there's another one, or if the one that's coming out is the first one that he's in.
I felt bad for not really looking into that.
That's why it's a smaller example, but
yeah, that's the end of the podcast examples.
Yeah.
All I know about it is that people were just really mad because they associated Henry Cavill with the role.
Yeah.
And he was like, in terms of the community who love like romantasy type TV, you know, when you associate your heartthrob lead character with a certain actor and then they're changed, you're going to have a lot of really unhappy women.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Let's ask the unhappy woman that's helping us record, Jack.
Yes.
Your thoughts on Liam Hemsworth taking over the role of Henry Cavill's The Witcher? Yeah.
I mean, I didn't love The Witcher show. I think it was okay, so I'm not too, but I mean, I've seen pictures. It just doesn't look right. I don't know.
That's what people are saying. Because, like, I think it's more of, like, a look, like, vibe of the character that people are just like, it's just not.
Yeah, and I've played the Witcher games.
He's not sexy, you know?
He's not, he looks kind of like.
He's a little baby.
Say it, Jack. He's not sexy, right?
I mean, he's a sexy man, right? Like in the
Hunger Games,
like he's an attractive guy.
Sure, but he's a little baby compared to Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he just looks like different. I don't know. He looks like caveman version of it. Like he has like big forehead.
I wasn't coming from him personally, but okay.
No, he just kind of looks like he has like a furrowed brow. He's not like that. Yeah, like I don't know, that handsome but also kind of gruff kind of guy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah.
And also, he's just good. I feel like Henry Cavill is like a way better actor.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth is a bit of a downgrade.
Totally.
So, but we were talking. Maybe has a season of The Witcher with Liam Hemsworth come out yet, or is it about to come out?
I'm not sure.
Because there is one that's about to come out, but I don't know if this is the first we're actually seeing of him.
They did 3 Henry Cavill seasons.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I'm hearing more people start to talk about it again, and I was like, oh, I thought that came out already, but also I guess it didn't.
Yeah, they usually come out like later in the year. So
it just feels like that recast was announced so long ago that I thought it had already come out.
It was announced before they released the 3rd season with like the last season with Henry Cavill.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. So there was a full season of still Henry Cavill between the announcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't really been keeping up, so I don't really have an opinion other than the fact that it's weird that they're just gonna, totally change him. Like, I don't know, changing the main character of a.
I mean, if you have seen it, do you think like it's because they need to continue the story or finish it, or do you think they could have just ended with?
Well, I know they're trying to do it because there's a lot of source material, there's a lot of books, which the games didn't cover, so there's like a lot of story that hasn't been adapted.
Okay, so they feel they need to finish the story.
Yeah, I think so, and like for the fans that are still around, because I don't know, I feel like they still kind of, because that's why Henry Cavill was like, I think, axed because or he left, I forget which, is because he was like such a big fan of the series, and
that's
he was
what
trying
I was
to like
saying.
really push for it to be more authentic to the source material.
Yeah.
as per usual. But
Yeah, so he left because of
Netflix was
creative
doing their
differences.
thing. Sorry, what?
It was creative differences why he left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Damn.
because he's a super nerd, so he was like, let's try to keep it, super nerdy and cool.
I was saying too before we had you chime in and undistracted. Henry Cavill kind of lost Superman and Geralt around the same time. Okay, yeah. Which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah, he has his Warhammer. He has his WoW probably. Seems like a WoW guy. World of Warcraft.
Yes. Wizards of Waverly Place.
All right. Can I ask for a brief little break?
Yes.
Is that possible? I gotta pee.
Yeah. I can tie it over the audience. I'm just kidding. I'll.
Do you want to do that?
No. I don't know.
Be stopping.
Do you want me to stop recording?
No. Just keep going. It's easier for me in post if it's one file.
I will be right back, and then we'll do our number.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Start scatting.
Yeah, can you do scat, man?
No one wants to hear that. Look, we can't get a copyright strike.
Yeah, because we make so much money from this.
What do you think is the most egregious of what we've talked about so far as an example? Would you say it's The Witcher?
Well, I guess the whole Halloween Town thing is kind of shitty.
It's very
tell her
weird
that it happened.
Yeah, that one kind of, I feel like, was just mean.
Yeah, that one's just like
it's just straight up
at
mean.
least to have the common courtesy to like say, oh, we're going a different. I mean, it's still a stupid decision.
Yes.
Like, what's her name? Darcy's Wildlife. Was she like even a big star at the time?
Sarah Paxton had been in more stuff than Kimberly J. Brown. Kimberly J. Brown had mostly done Halloween Town and was most known for Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Is still most known for Halloween Town.
Obviously, the Dumbledore thing, like, he died, so you can't really do
So you
anything
had to
about that.
yeah, because that's the thing is you can't really continue on with the movies as book adaptations without that central of a character.
Yeah, they just like write out Dumbledore's character. Like,
yeah, no, you can't.
I mean, he was going to die in the 6th book anyway, so maybe they could just.
You can't tell people
Spoiler
that.
alert! You're not going to leave this in, right?
No. Well, I might. We'll see. We talked about Home Alone.
Who's recasting Home Alone?
Well, they made 2 movies that were different kids and then decided to make another one that was Kevin McAllister again, but it was all different people.
Oh, right.
See? Because no one watches those.
So that one's like whatever.
No, but I remember like being at the movie store and looking at the other ones and then reading the back of the one where they tried to make it Kevin McAllister again, and I was like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah. That is kind of strange. Yeah, it's almost like a reboot in a way.
Yeah, and then they made a new one like a couple years ago, Home Sweet Home Alone, which...
Was that Kevin McAllister as well?
No, I think that was another not Kevin McAllister one.
It was like Devin McAllister. McBallister.
Yeah,
Mac.
I think Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney. Yeah, I forgot Rob McElhenney was in it.
Yeah, his Home Alone movie, you know?
I love him.
Home Sweet Mac Robelhenny.
Robelhenny.
Robelhenny? What?
We were just talking
Robelhenny?
I don't know. I've lost my mind. Stop. No, I was saying that there's the Home Alone movie with Rob McElhenney, you know?
Don't try to explain it. Jane didn't hear any of this conversation.
She'll hear it when she actually listens to the podcast.
All right, we doing our number system? What about Harry Potter?
I mean, it's a necessity recast, right? Because Richard Harris died, so they couldn't really not have Dumbledore in the movies anymore. So I think it was always going to be a little bit weird seeing somebody take over that role in such like the biggest franchise of when those movies were coming out. Harry Potter was huge. I'm going to say it's a 2 personally because he's so tonally different. But I think the movies were already changing their tone anyway. And I'm sure Richard Harris is a good enough actor that he could have pivoted to, stay with the new tone changes. But I think I'm just so used to because technically Michael Gambon was Dumbledore in more of the movies. So you kind of just grow to accept that he's Dumbledore.
That he is. And so I'm going to say 1 for that reason.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to specifically say 3 for that one line delivery. That's a 3 specifically.
That is a 3. Yes, I agree with you that those could be different on the scale. Yeah.
But otherwise, I think it's a 1 for me.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't disagree. I'm still going to stand by the 2, though. Because it was one of the first times in my childhood that I noticed, like, hey, there's something different. And it was a little bit like, what does that mean?
It's fair. I hate to add one more example.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. I would love.
You see the time?
We're okay.
This is a 2-parter.
I know.
Two-parter. We knew we were going to record for at least 2 hours.
Yes.
No, I wanted to bring up another example that I literally just thought of because of us talking about the pointing out a recast. In the show Acapulco, they recast one of the characters in it in like by the 3rd season. And they fully like point out her differences. Like they're like, oh, why are you suddenly like, so much meaner or this or that? And then she just like straight up addresses the point that she was recast.
Yeah, I think we could, because we pretty much stayed talking about movies this time. We could probably do an entire episode that's just TV recasts, because there's a lot. We cut that 70s show episode example, which is fine.
We could talk more, because there's a lot of recasting in TV.
Because Boy Meets World did the same thing when they recast Morgan. They made a joke that she'd just been in her room for a really long time. And they're like, how long? She's like, I don't know. It's been a while. Or something like that. Because they just they aged her up like 10 years and recast her.
All right. We'll do that
and
then.
Stranger Things does that too. So
we'll do a whole episode on TV recasting.
Because we do have another recast episode that is all going to be MCU focused. Yeah. So I think we could get away with doing one that's all TV recasting, because there's a lot of very famous examples of that as well. Like obvious ones.
All right, let's do it.
Yay.
But continuing on what we talked about today, so Silence of the Lambs can be the next one. For me, it's a 3 because as I said, I don't watch the one with Julianne Moore.
I don't think anybody does.
We're
lucky. They're lucky if people gave it a chance when it first came out.
Yeah.
Already going into it knowing that it wasn't Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a 3. Because the first one is such an iconic classic. Like, whenever I go VHS hunting, I see a copy of Silence of the Lambs. And they're always different, which is cool, because it means, like, one of them's, like, a special edition, one of them's, like, collector's edition, original print, like, all this stuff. Like, they made a point of still producing it for, like, when VHSs were popular before their resurgence. I never see the second one, ever. DVD, VHS, anything. There is never anything for the sequel, and that is because either it can't be because people are holding on to their copies of it. It's probably because no one bought it to begin with.
The world's trying to forget about it.
Exactly. So I think it's a 3 as well, because it might be one of the first times that a franchise fell off so hard to the point where people just don't. Like, it was such a hard pivot. Like, people don't watch it.
But it's really fucking good, Hannibal.
Yes, Hannibal. I've seen the first couple seasons. How many seasons did I've watched? At least the first season of Hannibal.
You should watch all of it. It's really good.
Yeah, maybe I'll come back to it. I've been meaning to rewatch stuff like that and Dexter, so which I did watch all of, and I regret.
At least that's one thing I can promise you: Hannibal's good all the way through.
Yes, I have heard that. I don't remember why I stopped watching it. Home Alone Town. Halloween Town. I think it's a 3 because it pisses me off that the recaster and worse, it was just mean.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell her, and then suddenly she's like, I guess I'm not in the last movie. Or, I mean, who knows if they knew it was going to be the last movie at that point.
Yeah.
They didn't need to recast her.
No.
They just wanted to, so they did. And thought no one would notice.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the movies, if I'm going to rewatch, which, the beauty of a good Christmas movie or a good Halloween movie is you will be rewatching it every year.
Yeah.
And I will only rewatch the ones with the characters that I know and love.
Yeah.
The actors that I know and love in that role. And that's just the tea.
That's the Skibbity toilet. 6-7 Ohio.
What is Ohio?
I don't know. That one I don't know.
Okay, great. Oh boy. All right. We did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've talked for long enough, but this is, well, it's the end of the episode now, so this is the end of part 2. But this has been a 2-parter, so it won't feel as long unless you're binge listening or watching on YouTube. Well, no, I'm still gonna put the video up on Spotify. Watching and or listening. It's been 2 hours. Real time for us. But, I always try to cut the podcast episodes down anyway, but regardless, this is a 2-parter, so we've been here for 2 hours. Doesn't mean you need to be.
Yeah.
Not everything we talk about is worth listening to, but we hope most of it is. That's the part I try and keep in.
Yeah. And we'll come back to this topic on recasting in terms of TV and the MC universe, because there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, because the same reason, long-running franchises have various reasons why they recast. The MCU specifically being such a long-running thing, they've done it a lot, which is sort of why it became its own breakdown, because originally it was part of this one. And I was like, nope, because this is just going to only be about the MCU. So that's how that's going to play out. We couldn't fit it all into one episode and then also have examples of other stuff. So that's its own episode.
Bye.
Bye. Quality Control Chicks podcast is produced and co-hosted by Lisa Cumming
and Janae Perez.
Audio mix and master by Jack Rudy.
You can follow us on Instagram at Quality Control Chicks Pod for BTS, bonus content, and clips.
You can give us a watch or listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to your favorite shows.